I'm joined with Michael Williams from Aftermath Silver. Michael, it's good to see you again.
Hey, good to see you. How are you?
So here we are, gold sitting around $3,200. I got to say that I feel like it's Groundhog Day this last year. I come to these events, precious metals keep hitting all-time highs or near all-time highs, and there doesn't seem to be the level of enthusiasm as I would expect at these events. What's your read right now and what's happening?
Similar to what you're thinking, we're waiting for the move. The physical commodity's doing well, but the miners haven't. But I look at the guys putting their earnings out, and they're strong, and that's usually the first step. So I think you're seeing some generalist funds moving to the producers. The developers are next, and then I think we're on a full-on boom.
So what about silver? Let's talk about silver. Every time gold runs, silver usually follows. That hasn't happened yet. Why do you think silver's lagging?
Well, silver historically does lag, and it's usually about a year. And I think there's a couple reasons. One is silver's now 55% industrial. Gold's a pure monetary vehicle. So I think a lot of the rise in gold's attributed to central bank buying. You don't see that on silver. But I will say this, and I just said it on a panel I was on. In a bull market, when gold runs, silver gallops. There's just a lot more leverage associated with silver. And look, what are we right now? $32, $35. I would say the odds of silver going to 75 are a lot greater than the odds of gold doubling from here. So I think the leverage is with silver. It's just coming. Usually when you see a pullback in gold after a run, that's when silver will start its run. So maybe that's happening as we speak. You know, so gold's off, but I'm expecting, I don't think we'll have the same conversation next year, let's put it that way.
So let's talk about Aftermath Silver. We've had you on before, but there's going to be people that are watching this interview coming across you for the first time. Right. So let's maybe set it up for them. What's the high-level overview?
Well, as the name says, Aftermath Silver, we have a significant silver component. We have 140 million ounces, but that's ostensibly 100 million in our measured and indicated category and 35 in our inferred. There's a new resource coming out, so that number will be changing. But we also have a significant copper component. We have 55 million tons of copper as well at 0.7 copper. And we have a metal called manganese. Now, there's a lot of manganese globally, but there's very few manganese deposits that can be used in the high purity batteries. And fortunately, it looks like ours can. And certainly, we have 55 million tons of 7% manganese, but we have the right type of manganese. So we could play a role in the EV industry, a significant role. We could be one of the biggest manganese deposits globally. And we have the silver and we have the copper.
So you guys just published some drill results. What can you tell us?
Well, we were drilling the eastern flank of our project, and one of the holes we hit was 153 meters of 1.12% copper, 290 grams, and 7% manganese. So the copper equivalent would be about 5% over 150 meters right from surface. So we're the deposit that we have, and we're located in southern Peru, I should mention that, it's called the carbonate replacement deposit. So its fluids have come from somewhere to form that deposit. As we go east, we're seeing indications, we're seeing intrusive rock as well as the carbonate replacement. So we could be getting towards the source, or, odds are it's a porphyry. If we find it, it changes the complexity of the program. I would suggest we go from a tier 1 asset to potentially you could be a world-class asset if you did find the porphyry, and it's economic.
So what does the exploration plans look like for this year?
We're going to get back and follow up on that drilling. And then we're also permitting an area 4 kilometers from the main ore body where we're seeing skarn mineralization at surface, up to 2 kilometers, up to 2% in some cases, with a large chargeability anomaly sitting below it. So there's still a lot of exploration upside. And then I think we are going to go to pre-feasibility study If we don't, we'll put out a PEA later this year, but that would require geotechnical drilling and hydro drilling.
So what's the big thing that needs to happen here to really meaningfully advance the project? What's the big thing if I'm a shareholder and I'm thinking, okay, what's going to be the big inflection point here? What am I looking for?
Okay, so this is news flow. Is the next 2 weeks, there's another 25 drill holes. They're in a lab for assay, so that should be ready. So that'll come out. We're updating the resource. I believe we're adding 160 drill holes to the current resource, so that'll come out. And I expect a lot of the inferred will go into the measured and indicated category just based on the tightness of our drilling now, and we'll slightly bump the resource. And then you're going to see a PEA or PFS, and also drilling in that follow up on that hole that I just mentioned. So there's a lot of news coming, but I think the real push has got to be the markets. Once the market turns the corner, companies like ours tend to get a lot of attention. You know, our largest shareholder is the biggest silver investor globally, Eric Sprott, and we're his third biggest holding. And you know, Eric made the comment, he originally bought us for the silver, but now really likes manganese as well. So I've got the biggest cheerleader on the planet waving his arms saying, hey, look at manganese. These guys also have silver. They have copper, but manganese is an interesting metal. There is no EV car revolution without it. It's in every new battery chemistry.
All right, well, Michael, thanks so much for sitting down with us. It's always a pleasure getting to chat, and let's revisit after we get some of those new drill results coming in.
Done. Happy to. Thank you.